Hi everyone, Ed Bates from Kilworth Chiropractic Clinic, and welcome to another edition of our weekly dose of wellness wisdom. Now, what I want to talk about today is something I see on a regular basis in our practice with sports people, whether they are elite or amateur, and that is the pulled hamstring. And in fact, we are inundated with athletes at the minute as they get back to GAA, soccer, and rugby training after lockdown. Now, what often happens is that it tends to be the same hamstring that the athlete pulls on a regular basis. And usually, most of these injuries are not incurred in trauma or a tackle or whatever. Rather, they tend to occur much more innocuously in the warm-up or simply running, and inevitably they can lead to very frustrating periods of time on the sideline. And for those of you who experience this, you'll know that simply trying to stretch the muscle or indeed rehab the muscle just does not work. Why? Simply because you also have to address what the muscle attaches onto. And that means you must look at the alignment and posture of the spine and the pelvis. In other words, the hamstring is an effect, not the cause of the problem. So why is this important? Well, let me show you. The hamstring attaches onto your sit bones right at the base of the pelvis. Okay, these sit bones are what we call the ischial tuberosities. And the muscle, well, technically muscles, because there are actually three muscles that make up your hamstrings, attach on here, and then they run all the way down the back of your leg and attach just below the knee. So what are the alignment issues that can cause your hamstring to pull? Well, an alignment problem of the foot and knee can certainly contribute by causing a torquing stress on the knee, but it's alignment problems of the spine and the pelvis that are most overlooked. So as you know, the spine's made up of these blocks of bone or vertebrae that are stacked one on top of each other with the discs, the shock absorbers in between. And the spine then attaches onto this triangular piece of bone, your sacrum, and then the pelvis basically attaches onto the sacrum via these sacroiliac joints. Now, as you're aware, the purpose of your spine, aside from movement, is to protect the nervous system. And what controls and coordinates the movement of your muscles? Well, none other than your brain and your nervous system. So think of the complexity when you're running. How many muscles are being coordinated? Lots of them. But what can happen is that your spine and pelvis can basically become distorted or misaligned, and that can cause interference in the control and coordination of your muscles. Now, aside from the significant interference to the nerve, these distortions can also cause pressure and tension directly onto the hamstrings. How? Well, there are essentially three types of distortion that can occur to your spine and pelvis, whether because of trauma, such as slips, falls, or car accidents, or indeed just by poor posture. And these distortions include a sideways shift, a rotary or rotational shift, or what I want to explore in a little more detail, a torquing of the pelvis. Now, think of the pelvis in two halves. And basically, when you walk, the two halves of your pelvis should nutate in opposite directions. And that nutation or partial rotation causes a functional shortening and lengthening of your legs. Now, as I said, again, due to trauma or postural stress, what can happen is that basically the pelvis can become stuck with one half backwards and the other side forwards. And the next thing you know is on the side, you can have compression of the disc and the nerve roots. You can jam the facet, the little joints that make up the spine at the back here. You can jam the sacroiliac joint. Or on the side where the pelvis is stuck forwards, the hamstring can be pulled much tighter. Now, you can easily check this by looking at the leg length when the person is lying on their stomach. And the leg on the side that is stuck forwards will be longer than the other. And that will cause the hamstring on the long leg side to pull upwards, so it's constantly in higher tension. So when an athlete is under load and really trying to move explosively and quickly, the combination of nerve interference and increased muscle tension can lead to them pulling that muscle. And that process will continue to repeat itself until the balance and nerve and spine function is properly corrected by specific chiropractic adjustments. Now, it's important to realize that the chiropractic adjustment, contrary to public perception, is not about simply moving the bones back into position, popping them back into place. Rather, the adjustment triggers nerve receptors in your joints and in your muscles that basically tells the nerves to stimulate, to tell the brain, to tell the nerves, to tell the muscles to pull the bones back into alignment. And that is crucial to understand. And on that note, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. And in the meantime, thanks for watching, and stay healthy, stay happy, and stay safe.